I'm Blake X, and this is another Nuclear Reaction. What is up, survivors? Hope everyone's doing well out there. Today, we're moving on to Chapter 3 in the Gothic Metal journey, with the first request for this journey, or one of the first, another item from the Infinite List. This was requested by, if I can bring this up here, David Machado, who asked for me to check out Moonspell and the song Night Eternal. Now, I've done one Moonspell reaction on this channel, and it was like forever ago. After that, I've heard a handful of the Moonspell songs that friends have played. It was like 2 or 3 at the most. I don't really remember what they were. I don't believe that Night Eternal was one of them, however, so genuine first-time reaction. And actually, I think the first Moonspell song that I reacted to is right here in the suggested videos. It was Scorpion Flower. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But anyway, I think that was the first and only Moonspell song that I've reacted to so far. So this is going to be my second time officially sitting down and listening to Moonspell by choice, and genuine first-time reaction on this song. Should be very interesting. This Gothic Metal journey is off to sort of a slow start, I know. I've only done 2 reactions in the journey so far, but like I said, this is definitely going to spill over into the month of March, probably even into the month of April. So there's still plenty of Gothic Metal reactions to come, and plenty of stops on this journey in the coming days and weeks and months. So I'm very excited to get into this. Before I do so, the usual, patreon.com/nuclearreactions. You can join for as low as $2 a month, get access to all kinds of exclusive bonus content. You can even join Tier 5, which is the $80 tier, if you want to boost your request getting processed. In other words, it's a way to circumvent the Infinite List and guarantee a reaction to your requested song. So that's just there if you're interested. There are 5 different tiers. You can get on whichever one you like. So that'll be in the description below if you want to check it out. No pressure. It's just there if you're interested. Also there, you'll find the links to the Mushroom Cloud, which is the official Facebook group, and the merch store, Yale Nuclear Shop. All great ways to show your love and support for the channel and to enhance your experience as a member of the Nuclear family. So just think about it if you're interested. Okay. Night Eternal by Moonspell. I do have the lyrics pulled up, as per the usual. And once again, I'm feeling some good energy today, so I am sharing that with you guys. And not much more to say. I'm just ready to jump in. So let's do that. In 3, 2, 1, go. That came in heavy. Oh, I like that. Well, this got fucking crazy really quickly. I love the drumming on that. That was like, that was some machine gun fire drumming right there. That was awesome. This one is really giving me a lot of energy, a lot of aggressive, fast-paced energy, which I wasn't expecting right when the song started. I thought it was going to have more of a mellow approach. I'm not really sure if this particular song is Gothic Metal or not. I looked them up on Metal Archives, and I'm pretty sure I saw that they were a Gothic Metal band, so I'm assuming that that's the genre that this is, but it sounds a little bit more heavy than I was expecting, but that's not a problem though, because it sounds awesome. In fact, I'm already enjoying this much more than the last song I reacted to. I can tell you that right away. I really like the vocals so far, but my favorite part, really my favorite part at this point, is the drumming. So let's see where it goes from here. Let's continue. Ooh, that atmosphere. It's fucking awesome. This is insanely fucking good. Gonna pause it one last time just to say this is like really blowing my mind in a very good way. The vocals are insanely awesome. The drumming is great. The drumming is really the full, blunt force instrument of this song. That's what really gives it the incredible power and energy and just sheer heaviness that I'm hearing. So that's my favorite thing about this song. The guitar is also very good, and I like how, I always say this, but I like, this is yet another example of how the atmosphere is very good and very well done, but not overpowering. It doesn't take away from the overall brutality of the song itself. So it's a very nice combination and a very nice balance, and I love when bands strike that balance, as you very well know if you've been watching a lot of my reactions. I love when a band can do that and pull that off. And that's exactly what these guys are doing. I love everything about this so far. Nothing at all to criticize. You guys keep throwing such good music at me. I'm going to end up giving everything high ratings. You got to give me at least something, that I don't like sooner or later. But no, seriously, I'm really enjoying this so far. So all I want to do right now is keep it going. So let's finish it up. Holy shit. Fucking playlist. Fucking guitar, man. Maybe I was giving credit to the wrong instrument. This song fucking kills, man. Love that drumming. Holy shit. That song was really, really fucking good, man. My analysis of the music with this one is probably going to be kind of short because, like I said, I don't really have anything that I can or want to criticize here. I mean, it just got better and better as it went on. I still think the drumming is the number one thing that I appreciate most about this song, in terms of what made it work the most. But when they started in with that guitar, making that guitar scream, that the guitar was definitely a contender for, the spot of best instrument. But I'm still going to go with the drumming, but the guitar was also fucking excellent in this song. The vocals were really on point. They were right in that territory where it's like they're not too shrieky and they're not too squawky, but they're also not too Cookie Monster sounding. It was like right in a healthy middle in terms of harsh vocals. It's like just what I like. So I very much like the style of the harshes. I like the atmosphere. The atmosphere to me was, if I had to pick the weakest point for me personally, it would probably be that. But I'm not even saying that there was anything wrong with the atmosphere. Like, I love the atmosphere. It's just that if I had to pick something that I would say that I liked the least, I guess it would be that. It wasn't the strongest thing in the recipe that made this song, if that makes sense. But I still liked it. And once again, I liked how it didn't overpower or overshadow the other parts of the music. It was all great from start to finish, man. It was just, this one was such a fucking banger. I mean, it was so heavy. It had such great energy to it. It's like the kind of song you just lose your mind headbanging to. It's like this like connected perfectly with the energy that I was feeling today. This was just what I needed. Oh man, I mean, as you can see, I'm not even having caffeine right now. Like I'm just drinking some cherry hibiscus tea because I'm trying to get a little bit healthier. And this was my fucking caffeine for today. This song right here. So who needs Monster when you've got Moonspell, apparently? So yeah, this changes my mind also about the band, because Moonspell, based on what I had heard so far, both the one song I reacted to and the couple of songs that I heard some other people play, it was one of those bands where it was like, okay, yeah, I'm enjoying this, but it's nothing super memorable, nothing that I'm super into. This song is a song I'm going to really be playing and replaying the shit out of. This is definitely going on a playlist. I just really love this song, and once again, it completely opens my mind to more Moonspell, so you can expect more Moonspell reactions in the future, possibly on this Gothic Metal journey. So let me know in the comments if you have any particular requests or suggestions for this journey, specifically, in terms of Moonspell. And also let me know if this was really Gothic Metal in your opinion, because it didn't feel like it, but then again, part of this journey is so that I can become better acquainted with the genre, because I don't really know exactly 100% what Gothic Metal is supposed to sound like. I only have a few, shades of vague thought and ideas about it, I'm more familiar with what Doom Metal is in comparison with Gothic Metal. I just know the Gothic Metal is obviously Doom Metal adjacent. So, wow, I'm really rambling here. That's what I pretty much think about the music. I didn't know what to expect going in, guys. This could have ended up being another song that I was just kind of meh about, but it turned out to be a very nice surprise for me, because I really love this song. It was just, once again, it just blew me away musically. It's just excellent music. So I'm just going to say right there, thank you, David Machado, for this suggestion, because it was a very good one, and I haven't even gotten to the lyrics yet, so let's do that now. Come morning, chalice of dawn, to crown the sufferer in their glory. Come, for we are failing, come, for we are waiting, for we are trying to breathe. First in the skies, apocalypse. Only your fury can set us free. Come, for we are failing, come, for we are waiting, for we are trying to breed. Interesting. Night eternal, our world is burning. Bride eternal, our world is dying. Come forth, for we are blood, and to blood we shall return. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. That's, that's Revelations. And that's pretty much it. Then those other lines just repeat. All right, let me... I got to bring my energy level down just a little. Let me think here about these lyrics for a second. So, I'm aware that, according to Metal Archives, Moonspell's lyrics are often left-hand path themed. And I'm taking that into account when I consider what the lyrics are saying, because in particular, you have to focus on that verse. I saw the woman drunken with the blood of saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And once again, that's from Revelations, and that makes a huge difference in the song. Just the fact that one verse is present there. Because if you don't have those lines, then it's just another generic apocalyptic metal song, which is like, okay, fine, been there, done that. But I think there's a pretty significant twist in having that verse, because I think it's partially saying that it's many of the tenets associated with Christianity, like martyrdom, like self-sacrifice, like sin, and even sainthood. It's these things that break the world, rather than the supposed sins themselves that the Bible warns against. And so I think with that verse, it's taking that part from Revelations and reversing its meaning. I could be wrong about that, but that's my feeling on it. Which, of course, from a Christian perspective, I guess one would say that it's yet another example of how left-hand path philosophy, particularly Satanism, simply flips or inverts whatever Christianity teaches or represents. But I think that would be an oversimplification. And I would say that many of the precepts of left-hand path thought even predate Christianity. And I mean, even the archetype, that is Satan, is spiritually and mythologically ubiquitous. I mean, you can identify with Prometheus and regard that as your figurehead and still be a Satanist. Like, there's no real difference except a change of nomenclature. And so I think it's the same strain of spiritual resistance found in figures like Prometheus, like Lucifer, that serve as the impetus behind some of these lyrics, and particularly the verse that I referenced. And so if you think about what those lines mean, when it says drunken with the blood, I think that refers to the rite of, in Christianity, the rite of Holy Communion, especially in Catholicism, because of the idea of transubstantiation, which, the consumption of the body and blood of Christ. So I think this song is using that verse to actually call that practice a sick thing. And which there's a greater, deeper meaning to the rite of Holy Communion, obviously, if you're familiar with Christianity and the Bible. But if you just take it on like a surface level, it's like spiritual cannibalism, which does come off as kind of sick, And once again, it may just be using that as an example to drive home a greater point, which is that this spiritual dependency and this desire to have something greater than yourself inside of you is ultimately what breaks you. And as people break, so does society break. And as society breaks, so does the world break. Some might say we're seeing that happen right now, and that's the way I see it. And that could be my own spin, just based on the thoughts that I have. But to me, that's what the song is kind of getting at. And so this rejection of self-sacrifice and martyrdom, to me, that's the main point of what's written here. And you can even tell that early on when it says to crown the sufferer in their glory. So it's basically rejecting or disagreeing with the idea that the sacrifice made by Christ was a great, glorious thing. And here's the thing, too. Like, if you actually read the Bible and understand the purpose and reasoning behind the supposed sacrifice that Jesus made for mankind, and if you fully understand the context of sin and dying for sin as it's described in the Bible, then to me, it does make its own kind of sense within that Christian framework of spiritual thought. And I say that admittedly as a Satanist. But if there's no God or no higher spiritual power associated with Christ, then that's pretty much when it starts to fall apart. So the danger of living under the assumption that your religious beliefs are the ultimate truth, or part of the danger anyway, is that the things you practice and preach as a result of that can have a devastating impact and effect on other people and the world. And so I think this song is suggesting that the society we have, especially Western society, which has been steadily spoon-fed Christian thought for a long, long time, this society has now become deceived into thinking that there's always something greater or higher than them. And as a result, they must, by contrast, be low or weak or not great themselves. And actually, parts of what the Bible actually says, if you really read it thoroughly, and it's been a few years since I've done so, but I'm going off of memory here. The Bible actually doesn't do that. It doesn't really put people down that way. That's another thing I freely admit. Truth is truth. What it actually says is that there is an inherent greatness in mankind, but that it's still not as great as the greatness of God. Because the idea is that if God made man in His image, since God is great, therefore, by extension, logical extension, mankind must also be great. So it doesn't actually teach to view yourself as being, subhuman or a lesser being. It doesn't teach you to have low self-esteem. It actually teaches that you're a great person, but you're still not as great as God. There's still something higher than you and above you and greater than you. So that's ultimately the one aspect to that I disagree with. But the way Christianity works today, and especially in America, most people don't read it that way. In other words, most people really do see themselves as being, very low, and they believe that they should have low self-esteem and low opinions of themselves. And you see that in today's society. So regardless of what the Bible actually says, most Christians, or most people who call themselves Christians that I've met, don't act in a way where they openly see or view themselves as being great. And ultimately, no matter what you believe as a Christian, it's still not in line with what I believe, because I believe that there is nothing above us that's greater than us. I think that we have the potential to have ultimate greatness, in a physical sense anyway. The spiritual is another matter, and I'll maybe touch upon that in a few minutes in this video. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here, but let me just draw back a little bit. I have nothing against people who follow a Christian message. I'm just giving my own criticism of parts of that message and things about the message that don't work, at least not for everyone. Definitely not for me. And of course, if you know what I believe, it is very much about finding that greatness within yourself. That's where it should start. Not for everyone, but for some people, particularly for Satanists. And I do believe that there are things out there that are incredibly and powerfully numinous. I think that's a good word to use. I got a little thesaurus in my head today, but I think that's a good way to put it. I don't think any of it fits entirely into a philosophy or a book made by man, but I do believe that there are spiritual things out there. I myself, work with spiritual things when I, perform personal rituals and things like that. And I don't think that what's out there is lesser or greater than ourselves in the dichotomous micro-macro kind of way that we perceive things. I think that what's spiritual is simply beyond our thinking and beyond our perception in a lot of ways. But I don't think that makes us inherently smaller or lesser. And it's a lot to think about, I could get into it, much more heavily and much more deeply, but, this video would probably go on forever. But so I have to give this song credit, though, because I do find a lot of what it says to be compelling. Because I do think that a world based on a society that lifts itself up, composed of people who seek and find inner strength and self-love, I think that type of society is much more likely to thrive and flourish. Because once you love yourself, I really believe that it's then much easier to radiate that love to other people. I was having a conversation the other day with a friend of mine, who was, by the way, a fellow Satanist. And we recently reconnected. We have been very good friends for a very long time. We were not communicating quite as often for a little while, and we got back in touch and started reconnecting. And we got into talking, and, I was reminding him of, our views on the matter. And the way I put it to him was like this. A sun has to shine brightly and beautifully in order to give light to the earth, So if you want to give your love and your light to other people that you love especially, you have to make sure that you yourself shine first. So that's pretty much the way that I look at it. I don't consider it to be selfishness. I consider it to be self-centered, which to me, there's a shade of difference between the two. And it's not just semantics, it's like a significant shade of difference. A self-centered philosophy to me is very different than a selfish philosophy. Self-centered just means that you're at the center of your own subjective universe, and then you radiate, once again, outward from yourself to other people. So you start with yourself, and then you move on to the other people in your life that you love, so on and so forth. So I believe that a society primarily composed of that kind of thinking will flourish. And for the record, I don't believe that a selfish society would thrive at all. And I do think that having a world full of self-pity and self-loathing and the feeling of being beneath something, whether it's a divine being or the religion itself, I think that's a recipe to cause more problems in the world rather than fix anything. And once again, I think that's, to some degree, a lot of what's happening now. And I know the narcissism thing is possibly a good argument against what I'm saying because, even I myself say that narcissism is running so rampant in today's society. But to me, narcissism in and of itself is a giant defense mechanism anyway. It's people who... I could get more deeply into it, but to me, it's really based off of self-loathing. So I disagree with the common interpretation of what exactly narcissism is, because when you have a healthy ego, you don't act like an asshole, typically. So that's kind of how I feel about it. And that's not really related to the song, but I just wanted to briefly touch upon that, too. So yeah, ultimately, this song has a very interesting and very good message. Says a lot of very interesting things, a lot of intriguing things, and things that really make me, in particular, think pretty deeply, both about my own philosophy and about what's going on in the world and in society. So, Night Eternal, man. Holy shit. It's on point completely with the lyrics. It's on point completely with the music. I have nothing to criticize. Absolutely nothing. This song was just an excellent, excellent song. I enjoyed every bit of it. Everything about it worked. Everything was good. Everything was great. So in terms of rating, you know what's coming. 12 out of 12 in the Doomsday Clock. All right, thank you once again to David Machado. This was an excellent suggestion. Gets me so excited for the Gothic Metal journey to continue. Hope you guys are excited as well to share the experience with me. Thank you so much for sharing it so far. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Don't forget to subscribe. All it takes is one click. Much love and respect to the Nuclear family. And that's all I got for you in this video. The Gothic Metal journey will continue very soon. Until then, I will catch you guys on the next one.